Hi everyone. Okay, so a bit of a delay here, just because I did not know how to share on to put the live thing on Facebook. But let me see. I don't know if I can even go live on Instagram from here. Let me actually have a look. I don't know how long it can be that I can have a live. Um, Let me see. Sorry, I'm taking a bit of a time here, but I think I can do it that way. Oopsie daisy. Oh, okay, can I get in? Let's have a look. I think I can go live. And, right. Right, I think we're live here on Instagram. Right. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited. I think it's my proper first live. So I'm recording it here and I'm also doing it live on Instagram. So this session today, so if you see me looking down, it's just my actual screen, laptop screen. So I want to touch on the power of the feminine, what it means to embrace our feminine essence, our feminine embodiment, whatever you may call it. So because I truly believe, and this may, and this may go sour with some people, but I truly believe that the feminism that we experienced in 1950s, 60s has got its place, but it needs to go. It needs to go because there's just so many things happening to us as humans where we feel such a great level of disconnection. And we're going to feel more of it in the coming days, because coming years, because technology is here. And when we talk about technology, acquiring knowledge, and all of that is got all to do with our mental capacity, our brain. Okay. And being in the feminine means being in the body. So we need to learn to regulate our system, learn to regulate how we approach things, how we feel things. And I'm also going to do a short video at some point about feelings. When I work with people, I hear a lot of people unable to go beyond the word "I feel good," right? So it's as if I had to extract some of the words from them. And it's not a judgment at all. It's just the understanding that we've not been used to getting in touch with our feelings, right? To verbalize the emotions we're feeling. So it's very crucial, it's very important to be able um, to have an understanding of, to communicate what is it that we feel. Okay, so today I won't be going through this. So for those who do not know me, my name is Aurora, and I am a hypnotherapist and a relationship and feminine coach, and I love everything that's got to do with feminine, because for me, this was one of the route, or this was the main route that allowed me to embrace peace, to have the peace of mind, to really put myself forward, and to empower me in my language, in my emotions, in how I approach relationship with others, and not to be, not to be a doormat, because not being in your feminine means you are, in some essence, being guided, being directed by what others are thinking, what other perceptions, what other people's perceptions of you are, and you just sort of go with a certain flow that's not really your flow. So I love this embodiment because I think it's helping women reconnect with themselves. And when women reconnect with themselves, there's so much peace in relationship, because the men will be guided, the men will follow whatever their woman is wanting of them. You know, it's not going against it, it's just what it is, right? And also when we empower ourselves in our own feminine, it allows men to give their own place on this planet. So I'm moving a little bit here. So, so because what we're seeing a rise in men suffering from depression, suffering from anxiety. I have a son, and I would like for him not to be in a state where he's depressed because his sense of purpose is not there anymore. So, granted, many women earn more than the majority of men. But to go with that, and that's another topic that I'm very passionate about, is changing the whole system, the whole educational system, where I think when boys are younger, they need to be educated differently to when boys are older, at least to the age of 13. Okay, so but that's a topic I would love to discuss more about in the future. So what does it mean to embody, to be in our masculine? And also we have a healthy masculine and we have an unhealthy masculine. An unhealthy masculine is basically being a doormat, right? Where you let other people's thoughts, perceptions of you direct your own actions. So basically, empowering healthy masculine energy, it means knowing where you stand, is walking the talk, is having a sense of value that you say, okay, well, this is for me to do, and this one is not for me to do. Having structure, right? Having a set of goals that you find good for yourself and where you feel like you are getting to the next phase, right? It's planning. Everything that's mental basically is masculine. It's analytical thinking, doing. It's problem solving. That's very masculine. So if you are in a relationship, right, and if you're a woman and you're doing all those kind of things, it means you are operating from a masculine energy. Okay, so giving direction, ordering, protecting, these are all masculine elements. And when we talk about feminine energy, is basically being, feeling, and receiving. Now, I speak to quite a lot of women, and all of them, apart from a couple actually, to be honest, all of them have a problem to receive, right? Majority, like 95%. And I've been there myself, right? Allowing for somebody to open the door. So, no, I can do it. Fuck, we can do many things, right? But saying and doing it, saying to someone else, to a guy, if we're a woman, I can do it. It basically means, I don't need you. And when we talk about masculine and feminine energy, it's very subconscious in how the energy is very subtle. And in one situation, we might say, okay, well, that's fine. So, she can do it. She can do everything. But look over 5, 10, 15 years where, you start aging, the hair started getting white, and you're saying to yourself, like, I'm doing too much here. I am doing far too much because we're not in a positive feminine flow, because women are not meant to be solving problem and always on the move, always on the go. So what is it that we need to do when we talk about embodying feminine energy, feminine essence? Is receiving. So look at your situation. How can you receive, right? Or how is it that you are receiving in your world today? Is it easy for you to receive, or is it difficult? As I said, for the majority of women I work with, it's difficult, right? Because we've been told that we need to do. When we do, we are amazing. All right. So, and we've let go of that intuitive flow in our lives. We all have intuition. Some a little bit connect with it a little bit more, and some connect with it a little bit less, but we all have it. And when we embrace that feminine energy, what we are seeking basically is peace, right? When we have peace, we have everything. But so, and when we have that authenticity, we are able to build genuine connection, not connection where you feel like, you're having to fake it, you're having to lie about certain things, because we are all being asked to evolve. We can choose how we are evolving, what is our next step, what is it that I can do, and what is it that I choose not to do, right? So once again, the masculine is goal-orientated, logical thinking, right? Decision making, having structure, seeking challenge, right? So it's very important to understand that when we are working, we need those masculine traits. It's vital to have those masculine traits. However, when we go in a relationship at home, we have to drop them. Because what happens is when you have a masculine, as a woman, you're embracing the masculine, and it's normal because, all day you've been thinking, doing, solving, and you get at home with a man who's naturally in the masculine. What happens is there's a clash. And usually you'll find the men won't fight it. They start getting into their feminine of receiving. That's why we have a lot of people saying, oh, my husband does nothing. I have to do everything at home, because we've been operating from that masculine energy, right? So, if you have the dishes and you're asking for help, right, and asking for help in a feminine way, and the dishes are there, and you've asked for the help, and it's not being done, you basically have to retrain the husband. And many would do it anyway, but those who won't, it takes some time to retrain. So what you do is you let the dishes in the sink or in the machine. Leave them. It's piling up. Leave them, right? Because what you're doing now, you're reprogramming, you're reteaching your partner, your husband, that you are operating in a different state. Okay, so I like this analogy. If you're with me on Zoom, I have a picture here of sperms and an egg, right, in the uterus. And you will see the sperms are active. There are lots of sperm and they are moving at high speed. And what happens to the egg is just sitting there, ready to receive. And she'll only allow one sperm to get in. So how is it that you do in life? Do you allow things to get in, or do you push through full things? Right? So you'll see it's action orientated, being the masculine, that's the sperm, and the egg is just sitting, doing absolutely nothing, simply just being. Okay, and that's nature. That's nature. And this force isn't just about, physical action. It's about the courage to manifest ideas into reality, courage to lead, to overcome challenges with determination, because that's what they are made up of, right? That's their natural characteristics. And as women, we have a lot to unlearn and to relearn. Okay, so what does it mean how does the masculine energy show up in women? So I'm just going to put that away for a moment. So we have chronic overachievement. So endless to-do list, being perfect all the time. And we can't rest, because if we rest, we feel guilty, right? We are anxious, we're not getting things done, we're not being productive. Then there's control tendencies, micromanaging everything. I mean, how tedious does it get? Delegating, there's problem delegating because we do not trust. There's an element of trust here and needing to do everything. I mean, you might feel good doing it for a few months, a year, a couple of years, but you will get bored and tired of it. Because again, what you're getting familiar to is stretching into the long term where, in the end, you say, that's not for me. And during that period of time, you would emotionally suppress everything. And what happens when you emotionally suppress stuff? The body talks back to you, right? Put on weight. That's the first one. You get high blood pressure, you get anxiety, and you have all sorts of ailments in the body that comes up that you do not know where they're coming from, but they always make themselves known in the body. So there is an impact of overusing masculine energy, right? So as women, I think we're meant to operate 30 to 40% on the masculine and 60 to 70% in feminine. So we have burnt out, emotional numbness, relationship struggles, self-worth tied to achievement, and also a not good management of money. That's another one we rarely talk about, which I haven't added to my slides here. So when we operate predominantly in masculine, we lose connection to ourselves, to our deepest self, to our soul, and to our life purpose, right? Because the constant doing without creates a void that no amount of achievement can fulfill. Okay. And, the success trap that we all feel says that 82% of high achieving women report feeling emotionally exhausted despite outward accomplishment, with their self-worth increasing dependently on external validation. Okay. So it's as if we lost our voice, right? We're not being authentic to ourselves. So why is there a need to reclaim our feminine energy? Because there's emotional healing to it. We reconnect with authentic feelings. We get in touch with those feelings and we voice them out, right? So I'm going to use somebody here who many may not like, Donald Trump. He is somebody who knows what he wants, right? Whether it's good for him, whether it's good for everybody else, it doesn't matter to him. As long as he voices what he wants, he gets it, right? And that's for him being authentic to him. And the only good thing that I take from it is how can you take that example for you, right? How can you say, identify what is it that I like and voicing it irrespective of other people's liking, other people's judgment, other people's thoughts, perceptions of you. Because we have to evolve, we have to overcome it. Okay? And when you do that, there's a natural vitality because you feel good in yourself and you access creative flow. When women are creative, like truly creative, like we're seeing so many creative people around, we feel so excited. We feel excited about life because life, God put us here to be excited about life, to learn lessons and be excited about life. So where has your light been dim? And where can you light it back up? Right? And that's beautiful because whilst you do that, it restores balance. There's harmony. There's respect, deep respect, right? With yourself first, and then with others in your surrounding. There's deeper connection eventually because you're attracting in people who are authentic to you. So the core traits of A woman who is in her feminine embodiment is being receptive, the art of allowing and receiving, because that's the natural balance of life. You give and you receive, and that one was quite hard for me to take in and to uphold. There's intuition. I love connecting to my intuition. Comes from around here, and it's a very calm voice that just speaks. I mean, I like it when it speaks to me, and it guides me. I like it. And then there's honoring our rhythm, because sometimes some days we have a high and some other days we have a low, and understanding that that's okay. So we're not pushing through, because when we push through, that's going against nature. And that's where obviously we feel a lot more burnt out and a lot of things. So there are huge benefits of embodying feminine energy, feminine essence. We have more fulfilling relationship, this balance, right? I'm all for balance. There is 67% of reduced anxiety. That's big, that's huge. And there's 89% of joy, right? What us as humans we seek is joy, peace, and love. That is the core of human needs: joy, peace, and love. So it's a healing process where we recognize our wound, whether it's people pleasing, difficulty setting boundaries, shame around our needs. What is it that we need? Around being vulnerable, codependency in relationship, disconnection from our body wisdom, because there's loads of wisdom. And the healing practices is, embodying practices that reconnect with sensations. And a big one that I like is permission. Where do we give ourselves permission, right? And we're able to set really healthy boundaries where we respect ourselves. So there's a new path to the webinar, the workshop that I'm doing tomorrow evening, 1:30 p.m. UK time, over 3 evenings. And this workshop is a new path where you stop chasing and you start receiving, right? From chasing and striving to being and receiving. So exhausting yourself trying to earn love, seek validation, that's so exhausting. Always in your mind thinking, oh, what would the other person think or say? Is he or she going to be happy with that? We don't want that anymore. And this workshop is for women only. So no men is allowed in this workshop. I will be doing one where, we'll be embracing feminine energy for men, because I feel men need to get more in touch with their feminine side. And that will come later on. So being and receiving, so allowing love and abundance to flow to you naturally, because your level of self-worth would have increased. And as somebody once said, so years of pushing and striving in career and relationship, I learned that my power wasn't going to do more, wasn't in doing more. It was in being fully present. So when we stop chasing anything, whether it's external validation, whether it's someone else's love, and we start embodying our feminine essence, we become magnetic to the very experiences we've been exhausting ourselves in trying to create. Okay, so this workshop, The Feminine Path to Love, is happening over 3 evenings. So tomorrow night at 7:30 UK time, sorry, not 7, till 9 o'clock, Wednesday 30th, 7:30 to 8:30, and then Thursday 7:30 to 9 o'clock PM, all GMT. What to bring? So notebook for journaling, pens for writing, a yellow highlighter, an open heart and mind. And you'll be learning feminine embodiment practices, reclaiming your intrinsic self-worth. There will be some shadow work here, creating fulfillment from within, becoming magnetic to love. And all of that, there is I'll put the link in Instagram later on. But for those who will be on YouTube or watching it on YouTube, it is $47.50 for those 3 evenings. There will be a hypnosis session on the last day, on the last night, for around 30 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes. And it's very interactive, so be open to have the camera on, to interact with others, and to understand why embracing your feminine essence. Okay, so if you have any question for me, I would love to have them. Please put them in the chat or in the comment section below. I love answering questions. So thank you so much for listening. If well, you'll be watching, some of you watching it on YouTube, please comment, share, like, subscribe to my channel, Aurore's Therapy, where it's all about human evolution, getting better, getting the better of us out, because it is inside, it's all inside. There's nothing outside, it's all inside. So do follow